Welcome to The Purpose and the Pivot, the podcast for women who know it's time for more. With your host, C. Renee McLain, career and life coach and champion for women navigating change with confidence and clarity. Each week, we'll have real conversations about career moves, life transitions, mindset shifts, and the power of redefining your purpose at every stage of life. Whether you're pivoting professionally, personally, or both, this is your space for guidance, growth, and grounded support. Let's dive in.
Welcome to the Purpose and the Pivot podcast. Yes, today's episode is choices over obligations. Reclaiming your power, protecting your peace, and living intentionally. Yes. Let's get into this. So today we're talking about something that has the power to transform your relationships, your career, your well-being, and your sense of fulfillment. Yes. The topic is choices over obligations. Yes. Now, at first glance, this may sound simple. But if you're like many people, especially women, caregivers, leaders, professionals, and people who naturally show up for others, you may spend a significant portion of your life operating from obligation. Doing things because you feel you should. Because it's expected. Because you don't want to disappoint anyone. Because you've always done it. Because it's the right thing to do. Because saying no feels uncomfortable. And before long, your calendar is full, your energy is depleted, and you're wondering how you ended up living a life that feels more reactive than intentional. So today, I want to explore what happens when we shift from living by obligation to living by choice. Yes. Let's start here. An obligation feels heavy. A choice feels empowering. Now, that doesn't mean every choice is easy. And it doesn't mean responsibilities disappear. We all have commitments. We all have families, careers, bills, responsibilities. But there's a difference between honoring your responsibilities and losing yourself in them. Obligation says, I have no choice. Choice says, I am choosing how I respond. That shift may seem small, but it changes everything. Because when you recognize your power to choose, you reclaim ownership of your life. Yes. So many of us learned early that being helpful was valuable. Being dependable was admirable. Being available was appreciated. And those are all wonderful qualities. Don't get me wrong. But they're wonderful qualities until they come at an expense of your well-being. Somewhere along the way, many people begin equating worth with service. They believe if I say no, I'm selfish. If I set boundaries, I'm difficult. If I choose myself, I'm letting someone down. So they keep saying yes. They keep giving. They keep sacrificing. And eventually, resentment starts showing up. Not because they're bad people, but because they've been living from obligation for so long that they've become disconnected from their own needs. So think about this. every yes is also a no. Here's a truth that changed my perspective. Every time you say yes to something, you're also saying no to something else. So when you say yes to another commitment, you may be saying no to rest. When you say yes to something that drains you, you may be saying no to something that energizes you. When you say yes out of guilt, you may be saying no to your own priorities. That's why intentional choices matter. Because time is limited. Energy is limited. Attention is limited. And how you spend those resources shapes your life. Yeah. Some of the most common phrases I hear is, I have to. I have to go. I have to do it. I have to help. I have to stay. I have to keep pushing. But if we're honest, the statement isn't entirely true. Many times, it's actually, I've chosen to. Now, that choice may come with consequences, of course. You may choose to work longer hours because you value financial stability. I certainly understand that. You may choose to help because you value family. You may choose to stay committed because you value integrity. Yeah. You may choose to stay in a relationship that no longer works for you because it's familiar. But recognizing the choice shifts your mindset. So instead of feeling trapped, recognize your liberty and allow that liberty to create empowerment for you. Yeah. Living from choice requires boundaries. And boundaries are not walls. Yeah, we talked about that in a previous episode. Yeah. Boundaries are not punishments. They're not rejection. They're clarity. Boundaries communicate what matters. They protect your time. They protect your energy. They protect your peace. And perhaps most importantly, boundaries help ensure that your yes remains meaningful. Because if you say yes to everything, your yes loses its value. Oh my goodness. Let me say that again. If you say yes to everything, your yes loses its value. Yeah. So as you move through life, I want to encourage you to ask a different question. Instead of, do I have to? Ask this. Does this align with my values, my priorities, and my goals? That question creates awareness. Because not every opportunity is your opportunity, right? Not every request requires your agreement. Not every expectation deserves your compliance. Alignment matters. And the more aligned your choices become, the more fulfilled your life becomes. This may be the message someone needs to hear today. Yeah. You are allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to choose differently. You are allowed to create a life that reflects your desires and priorities, not someone else's expectations. Yeah. You are allowed to prioritize your well-being. You are allowed to outgrow old obligations. Yeah. You are allowed to honor your needs. Yes. And choosing yourself doesn't mean you care less about others. It means you understand that you matter too. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So as we prepare to close today's episode, I want you to reflect on these questions. Where in my life am I operating from obligation instead of intention? What commitments am I carrying that no longer align with my values? Where am I giving away my power by telling myself I have no choice? And what would change if I began viewing my life through the lens of choice? And perhaps most importantly, guys, what is one area? Ask yourself this. What is one area where I can choose differently this week? That's your homework. What is one area where I can choose differently this week? And remember this. A meaningful life is not built by default. It's built through intentional choices, one decision at a time, one boundary at a time, one courageous act of self-respect at a time. So choose intentionally, choose wisely, and choose what aligns. And remember, you have more power than you think. Yes, you do. So until next time, be encouraged, enlightened, and empowered. I am C. Renee McLain. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for tuning in to The Purpose and the Pivot. If today's episode encouraged or inspired you, be sure to follow the show and share it with another woman who's navigating her own transition. For coaching support or to connect with C. Renee McLain directly, visit McLain Career and Life Coaching or schedule a consultation using the link in the show notes. Remember, your purpose evolves and you have permission to pivot. Until next time.